A shadow government is no more difficult than a government.
Yeah. And so not only that, they don't have to get elected. It's even better. Even nicer. They can stay for a long time. Think about J. Edgar Hoover. How long did that motherfucker stay in power for? He was running the FBI wearing a dress for like 30 years.
Because of what you just discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there are that's why I can speak with impunity about the Illuminati, because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, number one.
Right.
Number two, I know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati. I am. So you can't be illuminated. You're too dark. But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is. If you're just a capitalist, it is find something, establish a value for it, and make sure that that includes your profit, and make sure people really want it.
Right.
It's very fundamental.
Also, if you're running corporations and you're making billions of dollars, you're going to get bored. What's the ultimate game? The ultimate game is to run the whole world. You know what the ultimate game is, Katt?
I do.
We have an overpopulation problem, Katt.
Yeah.
It's an overpopulation problem.
Right.
And we're gonna be able to mitigate that with vaccines. We're gonna be able to mitigate that with health care.
Right.
We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna get rid of a bunch of people.
We used to be able to do it with neglect, and it was called nature's way.
Right.
Right. Like whatever was ailing you, it wasn't ailing everybody in the world. The Chinese didn't have it because they had 6,000 herbs 6,000 years ago and knew what each one did. And,
people are very resistant to that when they don't realize that almost all pharmaceutical drugs come from plants.
You can't be against the original.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's government propaganda working on you. That's like remember when they had Marinol, when they were making weed illegal, and the people were going through cancer, and their doctors had prescribed them weed for chemotherapy, so they gave them Marinol. Do you remember that shit?
I do.
It's like a synthetic version of weed that's terrible.
But terrible is subjective,
right?
To nothing. So they have this oil-like cannabis that is for people having seizures.
Right.
And it's the only thing that will stop a seizure.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It is. But here's the thing. The fact that there is a God is the biggest conversation worldwide. But the truth of the matter is, there is more reason for you to believe there is a God than there is for you to not. Like the way that things interact. Like if we're just talking about marijuana or alcohol or whatever that is, you have to understand that this thing serves no other purpose than to bring pleasure to this small group of beings.
Right.
And the fact that it already was set up to do that, the fact that it was already set up on this planet for there to be medicines for us to find and to utilize. And you see what I'm saying? It's it's not like, oh, yeah, so he made a cow. No, to make a cow, it means you had to also have made grass. And it means you would have had to have invented a whole new eating system for this animal, which was cud. And that means you would then have to have given him 3 stomachs to be able to, and you would have to have known that he was going to then emit a gas that was going to be necessary on the planet. Like, like none of these things.
Fertilizer,
all
of it.
Right. The fact that
Seeds.
everything goes together is how you know.
It's pretty wild. And every time we step in and fuck with it, it goes haywire.
Right.
Every time human beings do it.
Predictably haywire.
Haywire.
Right.
Haywire.
Right. But that's part of the benefits of free will. Is you really can jump into a volcano, dude.
Yeah. Haywire.
You really can.
I mean, think about what we've done to wildlife. The craziest thing in this country, especially right here, is pigs. Bro, wild pigs are everywhere, and there's so many of them. I went to a friend of mine's farm, or well, it's like a ranch to hunt wild pigs, and you just hear them like Lord of the Rings characters in the bushes, and there's 150 of them near you, 250 of them, thousands on the ranch. They're all over the place, and they have 3 litters a year, and they start having litters when they're 6 months old. They just pump out piglets. Let's go.
You can tell they're not delicious.
They are delicious.
Oh, well, then here we go then.
They're
we don't really have a problem then,
Right.
do we?
No, we have a we need to eat pigs problem.
No, we need to be sending this off somewhere
Yeah.
to someone who does.
Well, definitely we should. That would be an easy way to solve a lot of hunger problems.
I'm saying we live in a country where we're complaining about food sources.
It's a good point.
These chickens are pecking us to death. They're everywhere. I can't even sleep. Yeah, but they're delicious, right?
Yeah. Have more chickens. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do have an overabundance problem for sure. We really do. But the pig thing is a wild one. It's hard to get them. Like they're very smart and they spread out and there's so fucking many of them. They shoot them with helicopters. They fly over them.
Right.
I haven't been invited 3 times since I moved here to go shoot pigs out of a helicopter.
But that's part of the reason that you came to Texas.
The freedom, for sure.
Texas is a place of great adventure.
Yeah.
And people who believe in that.
Yeah.
Like, it's really God's country in the right places.
It is in the right places. I think you're going to have annoying people everywhere you go in this world. But in general, I think the people here overall are nicer, they're friendlier, and they're not captured. They're not captured by the ether of Hollywood. They haven't been sucked into the vortex of ideological thinking and just that weirdness of that town. So when you escape that and just be around regular people, you're like, oh, people are all right. I've just been in an insane asylum. You're looking for a girlfriend. Like you have to be in a place where you're around good people, like normal people. That's better for you.
You're not trying to say that people that happen to live there are not nice people.
There's a lot of nice people there, for sure.
Here's the thing. Hopefully we can agree that the problem is with extremes.
Yes.
Extreme anything.
Yes.
Extreme left is as vicious and as far right.
Yep.
It's, the middleness of it all that makes America great. And
For
Texas
sure.
has been front and center of that forever.